Hello, science students. Today, we are going to be learning about how does a scientist observe. So our target today is, I will learn how a scientist uses their 5 senses. Let me move this down so we can see that better. Uses the 5 senses to observe so that I can become better at observing the real world. I will know I've got it when I can describe the 5 senses a scientist uses and why. So I want you to take a look at this picture. And I'm going to move myself for just a few minutes so you can see all of it. If you look at all the pictures of the boys and girls in the picture, think about what are the 5 senses the kids in the picture are showing. So let's take a look first at this one. You're probably already thinking, this kid is using the sense of hearing. So what are some things that you like to hear? This kid is using the sense of touch. I see their hand. What are some things that you like to touch? This kid is using the sense of smell. Can you think of things that smell good? Maybe even some things that don't smell good. This kid is using the sense of sight, seeing. If you look around right now, what are some things that you see? And then last, we have a kid who is using the sense of taste. What are some of your favorite foods to taste? And what are some things that you've tasted and you have not liked it? So for our mini lesson today, we are going to watch a video about the 5 senses. And that video is on BrainPop Junior. So I'm going to show you how to get there. If you'll log on to brainpopjunior.com, you're going to get to this screen. And remember, our login is Dry Ridge, and then the password is Cardinals, lowercase, with an S on the end, Cardinals. And this time, we are going to go to the health section. I know normally we go to science, but today we're going to go to health. And we're going to go to all health movies.
All health movie.
And then we're going to look for the senses. Scroll down and you will find it right here, the senses. Now, if you leave your mouse there, you're going to see all the different senses. So you're going to watch that video so you can pause me so that you can watch the video. And then while you're watching the video, I just want you, let me go back a second. While you're watching the video, I want you to think, how do I use the 5 senses? So pause the video of me and go watch the BrainPop Junior video. Now that you're back, let's discuss some things. On the video, we saw that we use our eyes to look at things. And a scientist calls looking at things observing. We use our ears to hear things. We use our hands to touch and feel things. We use our nose. And we're going to learn, or we've learned in our being a safe scientist, that we waft. We never sniff. And let me let you see me wafting. So if we have something that we're smelling, we want to waft it. We don't want to sniff it because we might take in some bad chemical smells. So we just want to waft. We use our tongue for tasting only when it's safe. And we didn't hear so much about the brain being one of our 5 senses, but our brain is what helps control all those 5 senses. And our brain also helps us think. So you're going to see over here on the side that it says, add the picture of the scientist head with 5 senses in your science notebook. So let me show you that in just a few minutes. So our vocabulary word today is nerves. Nerves are the tiny parts of the body that collect and send information from the senses to the brain, which are part of the nervous system. So that's what the nerves are. They gather all that information from the body and they send a message to the brain. So here's our picture of our 5 senses. You're going to find this picture in your science, in your folder that I gave you at Open House. And we're just going to glue it into our notebook like this. Okay, so glue it into the notebook like this. But then I want you to add something to it. Below the picture, once you get it glued, I want you to add this. Scientists use their 5 senses to discover the natural world. So, pause the video, and while you're doing that, I'm going to grab my pen so I can write it down. Okay, so we want to write at the bottom after we glue it in, and just glue it on the next clear page. Scientist, and I'm writing right now, use their 5 senses to discover the natural world. So just the world around us. We're going to use our eyes, our ears, our hands, our nose, our tongue to observe, to discover what's out there, and our brain to kind of put it all together. So you're going to see at the bottom, I added that in my notebook. Just add it anywhere on that page after you get your senses head glued in. And remember, you can pause me at any time so that you can do your work. Okay, so now this is what I want you to do on your own. So as scientists, we're always researching, we're always learning more. And many times we need to read. So scientists read to learn more about things they wonder. Let's learn more about our 5 senses. So Miss Scanlon has already shared with you a way to get on Epic. You're going to go on Epic, and I'm going to have in your assignments this book to read, Our 5 Senses. It's been assigned to you, and when you get to the end of the book, you're going to take the quiz so that we can see how much you remember from what you read. So you'll pause the video, you'll go to Epic, and you'll read the book that I have assigned. This is what the book looks like, Our 5 Senses. So here's our assessment. Remember to take the 6-question quiz when you finish reading the book on Epic, Our 5 Senses. Read the questions carefully. You got this. So this is what it will look like when you're finished reading, and see where it says start the quiz. So you'll take the quiz, and that will be your assessment for today. Okay, just want to remind you one more time that we've got coming up soon the ice balloon investigation. So if you haven't filled your balloon with water and put it in the freezer, go ahead and get that done so that it will be frozen and ready to go. If you would like to put extras in there, go right ahead. You can make as many ice balloons as you want. Now, when we get to our Google Meet time, so before we get to Google Meet, remember I want you to read on your own about the 5 senses. And then when we get to our Google Meet, we're going to share out. This is what I want you to share, so be prepared. Share your thinking when we get to the Google Meet. How does a scientist use their 5 senses to observe the natural world? With sight, I want you to be thinking about your eyes. Hearing, think about your ears. Touch, think about your hands. Smelling, think about your nose. And taste, not that a scientist uses the sense of taste very much, because a lot of times we don't want to taste something that we're investigating. We would use our tongue for the sense of taste. So we're going to share out during our reflection time, during our Google Meet time, about the 5 senses. As you read the book, The 5 Senses, if you would like to take notes, you can take notes in your science notebook. Just start a new page and just take whatever notes that you would like to. Okay, I'll see you at the Google Meet.